Hey everybody, Quinn Kennedy here, and for this video I was going to be talking about something different, but I saw this story on the news that really got to me that I feel like I wanted to discuss. As early in the week, there was this guy in Huntsville that was disabled. He is 20 years old and he has a ventilator, and he's on a ventilator because he got in a car wreck. And he was going to a movie to see Black Panther. And he was asked to cover his vent because the lights were too bright, which is understandable because that's a quick fix, like, no muss, no fuss. But then, after they did that, he came back and said that the vent was too loud. And he didn't ask them to leave, but the family felt unwanted, so they left. But in fairness, the theater gave him a full refund, which is a good fix. But I just feel like the situation wasn't handled up to par, and I don't feel that it was because of sheer ugliness or malicious intent. I feel like it was just out of a lack of knowledge. But I'm going to show you an example right now. He mentioned that the lights were too bright and that it was too loud. So I'm going to turn off the lights and make it seem like I'm in a movie theater, okay? So imagine this is a theater. And I'm going to move the camera over to my vent. Going camera and... Okay, now, as you can see, there are lights. And I admit they are kind of bright. But what's brighter to you, those lights or this? Okay, that's the sound. Now, I'm just going to be quiet for a second and listen, okay? Just listen to the vent. Okay. Now I'm going to move it back to me. Okay. Now, the lights I could see, but to me the cell phone is a bit brighter. And if I had a dime for how many times I've seen those lights in the movie theater, those cell phone lights, I'd probably be swimming in them. But, you know, I think that there's a difference though, because everyone has a cell phone. Everybody knows what it's like, you know, to wait for an important text or to, you know, just be on the phone because you just like being on your phone. And not everybody knows what it's like to have a ventilator because it's only for a select few that are disabled and can't breathe on their own. But it's like, it's a matter of life and death for a ventilator, and despite what people may think, or despite what people may say, a phone is not necessarily a matter of life and death. But I could see how not everybody knows what a ventilator is, because unless you know a disabled person, the chances are that you're not going to know what it is. And that's fair. I can understand putting a blanket over the lights because, you know, that's an easy fix. No problem. But the part that I can't understand is the sound. Because as you heard, it barely makes any sound. You might hear a little sound because that's air pumping into my lungs. But imagine that you're in that theater listening to all the loud, awesome action that Black Panther has in it, all that loud, tremendous sound, and that's what you're listening to is that little bit. You can't even hear it when all that action, all that shooting, all that fighting, you can't hear that little. So I don't see how that was the issue. Now, on the other hand, if it was beeping, because it beeps when there's an occasional occlusion or if the battery on it is low, but all you have to do is hit the silent button and then boom, it's gone. And so I can't really see how the sound itself is a big, big issue. So that's what I just can't get. And when watching it the first time, I was really, really angry. And I felt like it was a huge ADA violation. And in case you don't know what an ADA is, that's the American Disabilities Act. And there's a set of laws protecting disabled people against discrimination. And when watching the footage and reading the article again, there wasn't really a violation. They didn't force the family to leave, they offered. And it may have been a mistake to offer that, but that was their way of dealing with the situation. Everyone has their own way. Some are more combative, I guess, and some are just more passive. And me, I don't know what I would have done in that situation because personally that's never happened before. And that's because people around me have been very understanding. And they've had people even sit right behind us with my ventilator and everything, and they're enjoying the movie. They're laughing and crying or whatever the movie calls for. And it's not really that big of a deal to a lot of people. And I think that it's just what you're used to and what's normal to you individually. And one thing that I noticed in my videos is that I always say that people like me are trying to be normal. And really I need to stop saying that because it's the consensus that all this is not normal that leads to the root of the problem that happened at the theater. Because in the end of the day, we all have our own normal. And not everybody has the same normal. Everyone has a different type of normal for whatever works for them. And so now I need to say that we are normal. That we're just trying to get people to understand our normal. Because really that's what we try to do. And that's what I think everyone does, whether you're disabled or able-bodied. Now that I've really said my piece and said how I felt about that situation, I think that everyone will, I guess, hopefully see my point of view and help all of us understand that we all have our own normals. So thank you for watching. This has been Queen Kennedy rolling out. See you next time.